Hey everyone, Ellie here. Hope you're all doing well. Well, a very nice, cracking return to winning ways with a 5-0 victory over Southampton by Tottenham Hotspur yesterday. So amazing. And I was distracted for a little bit in the first half, and I came back and about 30 minutes in and we were already 4-0 up, and I was like, wait, what is this right? Am I looking at the score correctly? So yes, we were. And I really enjoyed looking at the highlights. Sorry, I wasn't able to watch the whole match live. I was fixing some equipment in my house, but what I did see, I enjoyed very much. Mostly enjoyed maybe the first half a little bit more than the second half. I think all our goals came in the first half, and especially very glad to see Son with 2 assists and a goal. And I've heard a lot of criticism about Son lately, and I think some of it's unjustified. Don't forget, Son has an incredibly important job to do. He's not just the captain of the team, he's also the brand ambassador and the spokesman. He's personally responsible for bringing in thousands and thousands of fans in Asia. So he does do so much work behind the scenes that we don't even know about. So give Son some slack. But when he's there, he produces, and I think that we need him. So as long as he's here, we should totally try to get the best out of him and protect him as much as possible. One other thing that I really enjoyed seeing was the goal celebration from Maddison doing Day of the Jackal. I actually really enjoyed the TV show Day of the Jackal with Eddie Redmayne and Lashana Lynch. I didn't think it was going to be any good because I saw the trailer and they were a bit cringy. But actually, the show was actually really interesting, and there's lots of fun, cool action sequences. And I didn't think I would enjoy Eddie Redmayne. I am not a huge fan, especially one of the worst movies that I've ever seen. He was awful in Jupiter Ascending, and he played the baddie in that. And then I don't know what he was doing with his voice, but he's just been always like kind of over the top for me. So I actually really enjoyed him in this show. Strangely, I think that most people on the internet were rooting for the Jackal and not the MI6 agent. So if you haven't seen that show, it's available on Peacock in the US and it's highly enjoyable. So I recommend that. And shout out to James Maddison for recreating the sniper look with that. So I think what I'd like to say about the Ange out, Levy out shouts. So nothing's changed. The board is still the same. Levy's still the same. The only thing that's changed is maybe the Saudi Arabians are sniffing around, and their proxy, and I can't remember her name, that lady who handled the deal for Newcastle United, she's been seen at the Tottenham Stadium on several occasions, and no doubt they've had discussions there or negotiations, maybe for a minority share in the club. I'm kind of not really in favor of that because I think it's somewhat shady, but obviously, if they did, that would be probably result in a huge injection of capital. Now you can have your concerns about financial fair play and so on, but that would actually put us on a good footing with in competing against the other people who also spend a lot of money on players. So that's really the heart of the problem. It does no good, I think, to sack the manager. Although I know I said in my previous video, the easiest way to stop a downturn is to sack the manager and the coaching staff and replace them, because it's way easier to do that than it is to replace 18 players. with all their contracts and negotiations and all that. It's very difficult. It's just far easier to get rid of the manager. But when you get rid of the manager, you haven't really changed anything. You haven't changed the problem or what is wrong with the club or what you perceive to be wrong with the club. And it was pointed out to me that Antonio Conte was also a whistleblower for what he thought was the problem with the club's mentality. And it's the ownership and the leadership and the board and people like that. It isn't anything to do with facilities or training or anything like that. So as far as the philosophy is concerned, I like the Ange Ball philosophy. I think it's interesting. It's when it's successful, of course, everybody is very in favor of that. It's enjoyable to watch. It's nice football. And I like the philosophy that, it's even tied to Pushkas philosophy of beautiful football. I had to show somebody, I couldn't believe it. I had to show someone black and white footage of Pushkas from the 60s. I think it was like in his Real Madrid days. And then as he got older and his tummy was sticking out and stuff like that. But like in those days of like clod hopping football, he tried to play beautiful football. And I think that philosophy is really great. And I think that it's what an amazing circular vision to have, the Tottenham Hotspur way, which is always the flair, attacking football, very entertaining, nice to watch, and so on. I mean, you could argue the defense is not good, but the defense has never really been good. But like combine that with Ange Ball's philosophy, and I really like that. And I think if we got rid of Ange now, it would be a shame. So I also think that it wouldn't accomplish anything. We'd be right back where we were 18 months ago. And to be honest with you, who are you going to get to replace him? Sack him, sack his staff, sack his coaches, and put Ryan Mason in charge. He haven't solved anything. So I think we got to stick with it and back the manager. And all he needs is a run of like 4 or 5 games of winning. If we stay in the cup, we stay in the Europa League, we stay in the cup competition, I think maybe, okay, just decide if you can re-qualify for Europa League again. Maybe that's the level that we're at now. This is what's happening when you have so many injuries and you put out a team with 2 18-year-olds. So it's shocking, right? But you got to stick with it and see what happens. So that's my philosophy, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to back the manager, but I'm not going to call Ange out. I'm not going to call Ange out. If anyone's going to be out, it's going to be leaving. That's not going to happen unless the Saudis invest. So, and I don't see that happening anytime soon with financial fair play rules looming. So that is my quick summary for today, and hope you're all doing well and doing better. I've got my Tottenham holiday sweatshirt on, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.